My name is Lorenda. I'm a psychic medium. I do have I've got a spirit here, but they're still hanging out. They haven't stepped forward yet. And sometimes when they do that, that means that's kind of the personality, that they would not be intrusive. So I'm asking them if this is something that they're just trying to show me their personality. This is a male. Hearing the number 69 is important. Okay, so we're going to move into mediumship really quick because I'm trying to figure out who this is. Hey, Sam. Everyone, make sure you're following Mindful Mandy. And also, make sure you're following Dilly Dally, too, my moderator. She's not just a moderator. She's also a developing medium and tarot reader. She's hilarious and fun and awesome. All right, so this is how we're going to work as I move into mediumship. If you need to take 100% of the information. If no one takes 100%, then I'll back off, and then we'll go to like 90%, or we'll kind of put the pieces together. And if you have over 1,000 followers, then I'll bring you into the box. If not, we can just do this. And I don't know, Delilah, but I feel like you know. Okay. So this, if this resonates with you, like, you know. Okay. So this, if this resonates with you, I'd like you to put shamrocks in the chat. Okay. No questions or you'll be muted lovingly. Okay. No questions. We're moving into a mediumship. I've got a spirit here that has something to say, apparently. No more names and location, please. We're just going to move into mediumship. If I freeze for you, swipe out and swipe back in. My connection's been terrible. Okay. So this is a male, and I'm hearing the number 69. I don't know if that's his age when he passed, or if that's the year born. There's something significant around the number 69. Also, he's talking about a Mustang, but I almost feel like it's not cars. It's more about actual horses. So there might be a reference to horses with this person. He feels old. He does feel older. Like he was older when he passed, but not old. So I feel like he may have been 69 when he passed. Like it may have been like around that age. But he's talking about, he brought up the Mustang, but then he didn't show me a car. He showed me actual horses. So I don't know if this has to do with horses or horse farm, or something to do with horses, or maybe the Kentucky Derby is this weekend. So this could be a reference to Kentucky or horse racing. This is why he's here. He knows that I'm sad that I'm not going to the Derby this weekend, but I'm happy that my daughter is graduating on Saturday. So it's a win. It's a win no matter what. So there is so I feel like this is a reference to either Kentucky or to the Derby or horse racing. There's something that this person enjoyed about horse racing. He's definitely a father, but I also feel like he was a grandfather. I'm getting a reference to this is the second time my husband's grandparents have come up as a reference since yesterday. My husband's grandfather's name is Robert, or Robert. And so I feel like he's shown me Grandpa Scott is what we called him. And he's coming through. I never met him, but he's coming through, and I'm hearing Robert. So the name Robert must be significant around you or him. Do I have anybody taking any of this yet? You want to put a shamrocks if anybody's taking this. I've got male. The number 69 is important, whether that was his age when he passed or the year he was born. There's a reference to horse racing in Kentucky, possibly the Derby. Do I have no one in here that's taking that? Oh, I got one. And then I feel like Robert is an R name. Every time I try to back out of Robert, he's like, no, Robert is an important name. Say Robert or Bob, yeah, because it's the same to me. Which is interesting because now Bob, they did not go by Bob. like my husband's grandfather didn't go by Bob, but that came out of my mouth. So I guess Robert or Bob. I feel like he was pretty creative. He showed me creative. Very creative. Okay, all right. This is making sense. So just do shamrocks for right now. If this is all making sense to you, just go ahead and do shamrocks right now. And then we'll see where things go. So it could be Robert or Bob. Make sure this is like 100%. At this point, it should still be 100% that should land right. But he's really talking about the Kentucky Derby. Should land right. But he's really talking about the Kentucky Derby. And I feel like there was a conversation about this, about like there's some reference to the reason he's 74 is like, oh, I was there when you were talking about, yes, I would be, it'd be really cool to go again, or something like talking about, oh, I wish Dad was here to go to the Derby, or there's some reference to you guys talking about it and talking about the Derby. He's just going back to the Derby and horses and how he just loved the races. Oh, hey, Hot Mess Mom Reviews is in here in the house. I'm trying to let me see what else he's got going on. Yeah, he loved the horse racing. He's also drawing my attention to the roses, like the flowers, the floral arrangements, all the flowers that happen at the Derby. Like he's giving me all these different references and I'm trying to put them all together. He's referring, so how it works in mediumship is they'll give me things that make sense to me and I have to kind of put together what they're showing me because I see things in visuals. They played with my imagination. It's not like they just say, oh, hey, my name is Bob, and like where I hear them. Some people are auditory like that. I am not. But I feel like he's talking about the roses being a big deal. There's some reference to the roses. Try to see who else do I have here. Jacqueline is on board. We got plenty of people still. Okay. We got Misfit Medium in the house too. Daniel. Make sure you guys are following Daniel. Well, he's got to say hi first before you see him. Hey, friend, how are you? Doing a little mediumship. I got a guy here who was really excited about the Derby. And he loves something about the roses. There's some reference to the roses. And I feel like he's talking about the roses, but this might be something like he may have had a rose garden or he and his wife may have had a rose garden. There's something, he's just talking about roses being an important part. So we're going to move on from that. Let's see what else we get here. So let me recap. Male, grandfather, father figure. The number 69 is important somehow, whether that's when he was born or like how old he was or something to do. He looks like he didn't die when he was like super old. And I also feel like this was, this is like chest. I feel like his death may have been really unexpected, or you get the phone call and you're like, oh, wait, what? Like it just was either out of nowhere, unexpected. And he's talking about his chest, either like heart attack or something to do with breathing. I feel a heaviness on my chest and it's really hard for me to breathe. So this would have to make sense for him. Robert Bob is the name he was kind of throwing out. I don't know if that was for him or for someone around him that's very important. And I know, and he's talking about the Derby. He's talking about the Derby. He's so excited to watch the Derby. Okay, so I still have a few people that can take this. 100%, I'm assuming. I almost feel like, let's see what's happening here. Of course, now my stuff is being silly. Trying to see. All right, let me see. Kind of going through and see if I can vibe with any of you. But everything's slowing down here. Let's see. So I feel I can see who I'm being drawn to. There are two people that I was being drawn to. But it looks like there's a number of people that can take it. So here's how it works with mediumship. Sometimes your guides will align you into a room like this, and everything, just like certain things might fit, but not necessarily everything. It may not be for you, but it's actually your loved one coming through and saying, "What's happening?" Saying hi. So I call them spirit winks or postcards from the other side. Be for you, but it's actually your loved one coming through and saying, "What's happening?" Saying hi. So I call them spirit winks or postcards from the other side. So Veronica, please stop with that. Thanks. You get lovingly muted for that. All right, let me get some more information to kind of narrow it down a little bit. And you would have had to have been having a conversation about him. He is specifically talking about people sitting around and having a conversation. And there may have been a celebration, but I feel like people were gathered for something. People were all gathered for something. Like they're all sitting in a circle and remembering. And then they were talking about him. And this is very, very recent. He's talking about sitting in a circle or all sitting around together and talking about him specifically. And he makes you feel like he was just like, oh, that's really nice. Like he was there. He was talking about, or he's making me feel like he's saying, I heard you talking about the Derby. I heard you talking about the races and how you wish I was there. But I am. He's like, I am here. And I also feel like someone was just talking about seeing something and thinking of him and wondering if that was him, like a bird or a butterfly, something along those lines. Like, and just very recently, like I want to say in the last 48 hours, going, I wonder if that's him. Does that make sense to you guys? And I feel like he's being very specific, like in the last couple of days, that this would have been a conversation that he was overhearing. Yeah, you know what? I keep going to you, Lainey. Let me see here. Can you go live? Why can't I tap on your stuff? Why can't I tap on anything? It's not letting me do anything. I'm about to fight with my TikTok account. I was looking to see if you could go live. Comments is fine. So tell me how this is all fitting for you. Tell me how this is fitting. So we've got Robert or Bob, father, grandfather, it could be a father figure. The number 69 is significant. Kentucky Derby, chest, heart attack or something to do with breathing, and the sudden passing, unexpected passing. And then roses he keeps going back to roses. So that he may have had a rose garden or something along those lines. So let me know what you're getting, Lainey. And while we're waiting, you guys just hold your comments. We're trying to get some confirmation to make sure that this is for Lainey. Thank you, Dilly. Remind me, I got to pull a card for you too. Well, you don't have to remind me, but I'll make sure to pull a card for you. Born 1969, he was unalive. Robert is my grandfather. I got it. Okay. And what about this whole Kentucky Derby or Kentucky reference? No, they put the rose wreath. Yes, they do, actually. They put the rose wreath. My grandma had an accidental gunshot wound to the head about 2 months ago. So it was very sudden. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. Well, okay. All right. He went home today. My grandfather told my uncle a horse to bet on and he won. That's crazy. Okay. So you're saying that your grandfather had a gunshot but went home today. Like, so he survived it? Is that what you're saying? That's amazing if that happened. This is so cool, Lainey. Thank you for these. And he wasn't like an in-your-face kind of person. Whoever this is on the other side was not in your face. He's very laid back. He survived. That's amazing. Did he talk about someone coming to him when he was in the hospital? I feel like he experienced something. Like, I feel like he experienced either near death or like if somebody came to him and either said it's not time, or I feel like this is something he would have talked about though. And if he didn't, you need to ask. Because I do feel like there was something he saw and experienced, and he did have a choice and he chose to come back. Is someone he's going back to celebration thing. Is someone getting married, or is there some big event coming up that he's saying he would never want to miss? He would never want to miss. He just didn't want to miss something. There's something coming up. It's at the same time my uncle woke up from a coma and said, waiting. Same time. You're leaving me on the edge of my seat, lady. Am I saying your name right? I can't. It's so tiny and my eyes are old. Or is it Lannon? I think it is Laney. This is intriguing. I'm on the edge of my seat. It's 8 times in one day. He was fighting. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Thanks for clarifying. That's crazy. And he's home now also. There is something, but I feel like there's something that he was fighting to stay around for, if that makes sense. Like, he was not gonna, obviously the soul on the other side is not the person, but I feel like he's like bringing this information through, like he was there. Like, he either came to the people that were all in the ICU going, no, not time. It's not time. But I feel like he's showing me like what he's been witnessing. It's like this bird's eye view he keeps showing me. It's kind of cool, actually. Because it's different than how usually spirits will show me things. And he's talking about golf. There's a reference to golf. It was funny. He goes, oh yeah, and say something about golf. So I hope that makes sense. Something about golf. And he is talking about how whatever this celebration, whatever this thing that they all had to stick around for, is it my grandpa and the accident happened that same day? Wow. I'm asking more about the golf thing, and you show me like Scotland, golf in Scotland. So maybe it's either a golf reference or a Scottish reference, something to do with Scotland. Which is funny because we're doing Shamrocks, which is Ireland, but they're neighbors. New weddings, couple new babies. Yeah, because he was like, you got to go back. You people cannot leave yet. You don't get to leave yet. And I feel like he keeps telling him, family has this castle in Scotland. That's so cool. I love that. I would have a castle in Scotland. I just don't want to. Very Scottish. That's so awesome. Okay, well, he's definitely bringing up all these things. And I feel like this is just his validation to say, yeah, I was there and I made him come back. They didn't get to stay. They did not get to stay. It was not their time. There are too many things that they're needed for here and so when you talk to your relatives, please tell them, he said, no bueno, not time. You got to stay there. You have things to do. And the babies that are being born, is one of them a set of twins, or is there a twins reference? Or are they really, really close in age? Like there's something about twins. He's talking about twins or like really close. Roses, I've had rose gardens on my house. Ah, yay. Okay, that makes sense. The roses. All right. Matching rose tattoos. Ah, I love that. And plus, there's the Dropkick Murphys song, Rose Tattoo. I love that. Let's have 1-year-olds. Oh, okay. All right. So this is just him verifying who he is and that he's around and the things that he's seeing and knowing and understanding that this is just his way of validating, saying, I'm here. I'm seeing it all. Is there talk about, or is one of the kids, or is there talk about naming a child after him? It is not a paid reading. These are spirit-led. Thank you for asking. And there's no list. And you get muted not because we're being jerks about it, but it helps me, my old eyes, see when Lainey responds. We're all like sitting on the edge of our seat, waiting for the answer. Appreciate your patience, everybody. Plan to actually, his name and my great grandpa is going to use. Ah, okay. Because he was like, that's me. He's very proud of that. I think that's very cool. I love that. Okay. All right. So again, this is just his way of letting you know he's around. He is definitely around and he's seeing everything. And he hears you. He hears you all talk to him, talking about him recently. Oh, that's funny. I was just talking about that. Okay. Yep. Talking about him recently. He hears you. We're all like, oh, what's next? Don't come in and put your questions, please. Make sure we're in the middle of a spirit-led reading. You'll get muted out of love. 28th, and we made cake and his picture. Alan talked about it for hours. Oh, I love that. Well, he's letting you know he felt that. He was there. He witnessed it. He's around it. And he's a very strong presence. Very strong presence. And I feel like he moves things. He moves things around the house. Because I ask him, like, how do you show up? How do you let people know? He moves things. Anytime I see the like keys or a key fob move from one place to another, like I feel like he moves things. And you think you're losing your mind because you can't find something, and then you go back to the same spot you looked at 3 times and it was there. So I feel like he may have been a little bit of a prankster, little jokester maybe, because he still is. That's kind of his personality now, but that's his way of letting you know that he's around, is he just moves your things. And you could tell him to stop. Be like, listen, I got a time. I got to be somewhere right now. Yeah. Okay. Or tell him to move things that don't require you to be late places. OMG. Uh-oh. I got to hear this now. Can't wait for it. We're waiting. I got to hear this story now. Was he known for like cooking out and burning things? All in front of my entire family's face. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I see a lot of people joining, so welcome. My name's Lorenda. I'm a psychic medium. We're right in the middle of a spirit-led reading, so just kind of hang tight. Cooked a recent reading I burnt the ribs that day, and he told me a recipe. Ah! That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. That is awesome. Oh my God. I just love his energy. And he's so respectful. It was interesting because if you were in here the whole time, like before I allowed him to step in fully. He would just stood back and he was waiting his turn. He was just waiting. He was being patient until I finally was like, okay, like, all right, let's figure this out. Who are you? So, keep talking to him though. He loves it when you talk to him. He loves it when you talk to him, and he knows that you miss him. He knows, like, he knows this, and he's like, and I don't miss you because I see you every day. He knows he has a special place in your heart for him. So thank you for allowing me to bring him through. I feel like he's just decided, okay, that was all, and he's just kind of stepping away now. So thank you so much for allowing me to bring him through. What great evidence too. Very specific. That's what I like. That's why I like doing this. I really enjoy doing this work is when they bring through really specific. No, he's not. Good. Yeah, he's not a super talkative person. He was very much to the point. You'll notice, like, there was no him hawing around all the things. He was like, yeah, Scotland, yeah, Derby, races, horses, very direct. And I feel like when he did talk, people were like, oh, I should listen. Like, people listen to him. Okay. Yeah, he's stepping away. So thank you so much for